Episode 2 of season 2.
Yes, and we stuck true to our promise of not taking months off.
Yeah, well, let's see how this goes. Next couple of weeks is going to have some little roadblocks.
Yeah, well, definitely. So we're about to have a busy next couple of 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Busy next few 3 weeks.
Yeah, but we'll do our best to do one a week. So
yeah,
look forward to it. Don't hold it against us if we don't, though.
Yeah.
This is just a 3-man show, pretty much.
Yeah.
Right? We don't prepare. We just wing it every time.
Winging is more fun, in my opinion.
I think so. I just think it feels a little more like real.
And have you started to notice that the more successful media outlets are the ones who focus on just free flowing conversation as opposed to the news and stuff where everybody is a robot and sits around
not only that, it's like when you watch the news nowadays, you don't know what's like. Everyone's talking from their own point of view and the agenda of the network or whatever, and when you see podcasts where people can talk freely and just kind of be themselves and it's just coming from the gut, it feels more real, it feels more trustworthy. That's just the way I feel nowadays. But I don't watch news anymore, so
I don't watch any of that crap. I'm not a very political person by any stretch of the imagination, but I started to realize that, look, if you are up to date on politics, it is completely incompatible with being able to live a happy life.
I kind of agree.
How can you possibly be happy?
Yeah,
because something is always wrong.
There's always something wrong.
Yeah,
and that's what. Well, I mean, I don't want to get too much into what the news, but anyways, we're talking about toys,
cars. And everything.
Pop culture.
Yeah, So what's up, guys? I'm Jordan.
I'm Mike.
And,
this is season 2. Well, we just said that already.
Yeah. So, I'm in charge of our, of our Facebook, of our IG, everything like that. I talk to our fans, on a daily basis, and a recurring trend I'm hearing a lot is that our fans in the UK, it appears that we have a pretty huge fan base out there, but a problem that they're facing is that they just aren't able to get a hold of our diecast. So is there anything that we can tell them as far as a status update, as far as a reason why, some future projections of how we are trying to figure out how to fix this problem,
Well, it's been about over a year and a few months ago, Jada was acquired by Simba Dickey Group, which is a German-based company. And because of that, we are going to have a lot more distribution in the UK, in Latin America, because they have a big distribution channel in those areas. I mean, it's really quite large. And vice versa, Simba Dickey Group products, which include Majorette, which include Tamiya, and a bunch of other items, we can bring here to United States and distribute here in the United States. So if there's things that are in the United States that you can't get here that are offered in the UK, there's a possibility that it'll come through our distribution channels and we'll distribute it here in the United States. So this synergy that we have with Simba Dickey Group is one of the biggest positives of this buyout. And I think it's going to be really beneficial, especially for the people in the UK that are Jada fans, because just recently we just had our Hong Kong and our Germany toy fairs. And during those times, there's a lot of people from the UK coming into our showrooms, looking at what we have and buying our products. So expect to start seeing some stuff within the next 6 months. I think you guys will be quite pleased. If you don't see it, ask your stores. Tell them to look for it, because the distribution is out there. They just have to go to their distributors and say, hey, do you have this? Because people are asking for it.
Okay, very good. Yeah, and with everything that Mike had just said, this isn't just for the UK fans. Well, this is for fans from like all over who are having issues finding our stuff. we appreciate your patience. We appreciate you sticking around with us. We are trying to figure this out.
Well, before the Simba Dickey Group, Jada did have distribution out there, but it just wasn't as large as it could be. And there's it's a quite competitive market out there, so it's pretty tough for us to get in. But now with Simba Dickey Group being our backing and our distribution channels from that we're using from them, you're going to start seeing a lot more. So they're out there. It's just going to take some time. You might have to look. You might have to, because I know we do have distribution out there, because I don't talk to them directly, but we do, when I was in the marketing department, we did send out like sell sheets and things like that to all those different distributors in the UK. And they were buying stuff from us, but it might be small amounts, so you might see them. But if you'd missed it, it's probably because they sold out really quick, because they don't have that many. They don't bring that many into the country.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. So, thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah,
and,
exactly. So
it'll be here soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking within the next 6 months we should start seeing more stuff. But if not already, you should see some things trickling in. There's a lot of interest from the international buyers for our core stuff. So big time muscle, JDM, hyperspec, all that stuff is going to be pretty big for us, hopefully within the next year.
Awesome. Hey, let's move on to some custom builds, eh?
Yeah.
Cool.
So this is the segment where we go through and check out some of the custom builds that you guys have done and posted online and hashtag Jada Toys.
So for the first one, let's look at, who do we got here? His name is Riziki Original and Riziki Original. And right here we have
IG.
Yes, on IG. We have the beautiful, the Mona Lisa Nissan Silvia S15.
Yep. So if you look at this, we didn't do this deco. This graphic looks like it's inspired by one of the Fast and Furious vehicles. We never made this vehicle yet. Maybe, we don't know. But this casting is from the import racer line. But if you look at it, it looks like he did drop it a little bit lower, because it's the chassis looks like it's pretty much sitting on the ground, and he did use one of the newer mesh concave rims that we've released probably in that last 4 years or so. And this casting hasn't been out in a while, but I'm hoping to see this casting out again soon.
Yes. Well, this guy is an OG, huh?
Yeah. I mean, he kept the window graphics on, which is cool. He painted the body. I'm assuming he painted the body. I don't think that was the original paint. I can't really tell, but it might be. I mean, he might have found a blue and then just painted in the oranges and the black and white stripes. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's one of the cars that we do want to bring into the Fast and Furious line for sure.
Definitely. Hey, so if he did paint it like this, does he like spray paint it with a certain type of paint, or does he like have a brush and do it? It's like, how do our fans will typically repaint vehicles? I have no idea.
Typically, it's airbrush.
Airbrush, okay.
Yeah, and paint.
I so spray paint like an idiot.
yeah. Well, spray paint also. You can use spray paint. They do have hobby grade spray paint, like little miniature bottles. Like Testers has them. Mm-hmm. If you're into building Gundam, they have a whole line of paints that you can do. Even paintbrushes.
Back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude. So I've seen, from what it looks like, he may have masked out the white first and painted down the white, then masked it a little bit more to paint out the black and then the orange. I don't know. There's a lot of different ways. I've even done this with vinyl, but because he's able to get the contours at this scale, at 24 scale, vinyl wouldn't be that feasible to do. So it looks like it is painted. I'm checking out the bumper on the lower lip.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like it probably masked. I think that's masked out and painted. So it could be brushed. I can't really tell because this is a lower res image, so we can't really zoom in and check it out. But I think either brush or airbrush or hand brush.
Okay, so what do you think of that fitment?
It's hot.
I like
it's
it.
Good. Yep.
All right, let's move on. Thank you, Riziki Original. Let's see. For the next one, we have
the 164 VW drag Purple People Eater Beetle.
hey, that might offend some people in today's world.
Well, this is an interesting one.
By JSOTN 1976.
This is a really nicely done. The graphic on the body is an original graphic from Jada Toys, so we did that. But he modified the chassis to have a roll cage interior with an exposed engine and a really cool exhaust pipe. I mean, this thing's hot, man.
How do you do that?
I mean, I don't know if he got that motor from another toy, which it looks like. But I've seen guys who can build a motor from like the ground up using like a lot of things. Like if you want to do the firewall, you know how the firewall has that like foil looking. What people do is buy cigarette packets, and inside they have this little thin piece of foil, and they use that for the firewall to make it look more realistic because of the scale. And people get really like creative with the materials that they use. But this one looks like it's almost a casted motor, so I think he probably pulled it from something else. But that roll cage, I mean, everything about it is cool, man. It fits just right. Thing is hot, man.
Yeah, it's very cool. There's some
people do these and sell them.
Yeah. I mean, in like earlier episodes, I found out from you and Daryl that people will sell these things for maybe like $2,000 at times.
They can go for a pretty high price. I mean, average for a custom 64 scale probably would be around $60 to $100, depending how good the customizer is. But I've seen them. The most I've seen in person was probably a $300 164 custom.
That's insane. Yeah. Well, shout out to
JSOTN 1976. Nice work.
All right. For the next Jada Customs, Rust_EN.ORDE. I feel like I should like actually be like trying to pronounce it, but but I also feel like if I do, nobody will be able to. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is another reason why you should also be watching us.
Yeah.
Us, so that you could actually see how cool that these customs are.
So what we're looking at here is a tagged up U.S. postal van, and these are you familiar with these vans? I'm not sure who makes them. We had to license this car from the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
And because it's a specific car, no other, you can't sell these cars. You can't, because if someone paints them just to look like the postal car, they can drive around. I mean, did you know that if a police car, a fire truck, and a postal truck all meet in the intersection at the same time, who has the right of way?
Who?
I believe it's the postal truck.
Why is that?
It's the police and the fire are city-based ordinances, and the U.S. Postal is a national.
Oh,
I think that's what it is.
So,
but anyways,
you're out of your jurisdiction, pal.
Yeah, so we did these custom. We did stock and we did custom. So this one is the custom Dub City version that has the KMC wheels on it. And what they did is they put some little figures. I think they might be homies figures.
Is this from Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah.
But doesn't the FBI have them as a terrorist?
Do they really?
I read that somewhere. And I was like, Insane Clown Posse terrorists? Come on, guys. It's not. Yeah, but that's
dude. So this guy put a lot of work into this one. This is not just the paint. He scuffed it up, made it look like kind of ratted out. Put a roof rack on it. Has a little box up on top, a little flag. I think this is really cool. I like seeing stuff like this. This is kind of like where our for sale line kind of came from. People who do these kind of things to diecast. We've seen them all over the place. When we started doing for sale. We said, no, why not do it ourselves and see what we can come up with.
Yeah, this one is pretty cool.
Yep. Nice job, man. I think it's cool.
Imagine actually seeing this in real life as a full scale car, and it's like would you take a ride in it? I wouldn't, man. But you need to have like 20 tetanus shots.
You know what? That's like if you're hanging out in LA, maybe 75% of the ice cream trucks look just like.
I'm not eating their ice cream.
What are you talking about, dude? Get the elote on, dude. You gotta get that.
Imagine seeing all these dudes just pull up on you and hop out like that.
Yeah, if the payaso came out and started freaking saying something, I'd be like, oh, that's clown.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, I don't like clowns. All right, so rust_en.orde. Thank you for that.
Yeah, go check them out. Check it out in person.
Very cool.
Cool stuff.
And that closes out our Jada Customs for the day. Cool stuff.
Jada Customs. Is that what we called it last time?
Jada Custom Builds. Excuse me.
Is that what? Yeah.
Yes,
Jada
Custom.
Something like that.
Jada Custom Builds. Whatever pops up on the screen after I edit it, that's exactly what it's called. Yeah, but be sure to send those in. Tag us on Instagram. We'll send us a DM, Facebook, whatever. So we'll find it.
Hashtag Jada Toys.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Let's move on to our next segment. So we have a new one called Fans Demands. Pop up right here. So something that I see almost every single day is we have various fans who want us to make a particular car, and I just see it popping up all the time, and it's always the same car. So I thought like, hey, how about if we actually, just make it kind of like, our fantasy draft, for the fans, and so we can maybe talk about a few of them. So
well, go ahead. We'll talk about this first, and then we'll go into like how you guys can participate in this segment for future episodes.
Yeah. So for this particular one, I always I always see people wanting us to make either their Letty's 240SX from the first Fast, or they want us to make the Silvias from the Fast and Furious franchise, whether that be Hans's S15 from Tokyo Drift, or whether that be the one S15 from Fast and Furious 4.
Oh, yeah.
So how about if we take a look at some of them and just see, I'm gonna pull up here. Let's take a look at Letty's 240 first.
So Letty's 240 was that a wine colored, right?
Yeah, it's kind of making me thirsty. it's like a wine and cheese color.
Yeah, right. It has that cheese color on the side. Has that little figure, or whatever that is, that little witch. I don't know what it is. That's those crazy graphics that they were using in all the early Fast and Furious movies.
That people actually.
I mean, okay. So let me go back a little bit. Let's talk about these graphics. Back in the day, like Fast and Furious, right? Is when I saw it for the first time, coming from like the LA scene, which was where the first Fast and Furious movie was kind of based, I was like, we don't do cars like that, really. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
But now in hindsight, now almost 20 years later, looking back, I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. Only because it's just kind of nostalgic because of the movies. So what do you think? Do you think that these graphics now, do you think kids these days who are growing up not knowing what that old culture was like and what the actual cars look like in LA, do they think that that's what the cars look like when we were fixing them, when I was fixing them up back in the 90s? You think that's what they think it was about, like what it looked like driving around here in LA?
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, even though
you were pretty young compared to me. I mean,
and so Fast and Furious 1 came out in 99, was it? 2001? Okay.
2001, yeah.
So
next year is the 20th anniversary.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know how old I was.
20th anniversary.
I know, right? So I was like 8 years old.
Oh, you're
7
killing
years
me,
old,
dude.
Right? Yeah. So So I saw all those cars, and me never actually being a part of the car scene. I thought that like, oh, people who race cars, their cars actually look like that.
Yeah, yeah.
These crazy liveries and stuff, which is far from the truth apparently.
Well, yeah. I mean, when we were doing it, we never really did graphics like this. I mean, the unless you are a full on race car driver doing drag racing at Battle of the Imports.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you started doing crazy graphics.
Is it frowned upon, or is it just like like too much effort? Is it too loud, too rice, as people would say?
Yeah, it was for the LA crowd. I think it was a little gaudy. It didn't it was like, what are you doing? Everything back then when I was growing up and doing this stuff was all super clean. It was like nice rims, a nice paint job, a nice color. Maybe the craziest thing would be that chameleon purple color that changes color from purple to green to gold and whatever sunlight you're looking through.
I love that.
Yeah, maybe that was like the most. And then maybe sponsor graphics or like part graphics like logos and stuff like a roll call. But other than that, we would never put these crazy like banshees on the side of our cars with flames.
I kind of feel like in like a little bit in the car scene, it's starting to make a comeback.
Well, I think a lot of it now because it has to do with like the drifting scene. That's what a lot of the liveries and drift look like now. Maybe not this exact same type of artwork, and I'm not sure who does the artwork, if it was Troy Lee Designs or something. But yeah, I mean, it was this stuff actually. Maybe not in LA, but there was a company back in the day called Nopi that was, I think, in the Midwest that did a lot of this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jada. When I was growing up, not a lot of show glow, which is those undercarriage lights, the chassis lights.
I love that stuff.
I mean, it's making a comeback now. I'm seeing it on the freeway quite a bit nowadays.
I think I might dabble into that.
Oh, really?
I don't know. Maybe.
in the off-roading world, they call them rock lights.
Rock lights?
Yeah.
I've seen. Yeah. Well, I dig it.
Yeah. I mean, so back to this, the S14 and S15. I mean,
so Letty's S14,
yeah,
or 240. By the way, as a guy who's pretty good with Nissans, I still have trouble figuring out the differences between the S13, 14, 15s, and then the 240s, SXs, 300Zs, and stuff. It's like it's kind of hard. But if I'm right, so like the 240 is the same thing as the S14, but the 240 is the US version, right?
S14, yeah, because the S15 had these more sleek, rounded lights. They're narrow and wide. S14 has more of a blocked out, like square light shape for the headlights. I'm talking about. I believe that's right, because I'm not. Say is the guy who used to own his 240.
Yeah.
He has he knows more about it than I do.
I see.
So yeah, that's different.
13 versus.
That's 13, 14.
Okay.
So I'm confused. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused
I could
too.
be wrong. It might be opposite. I'm not sure, but yeah, there's. I'm not a Nissan guy. I was always a Toyota dude.
Well, let's look up the Mona Lisa from Tokyo Drift. This is another one that fans would really love for us to make.
Which is the same as the car that was in our custom corner. What do we call it?
Custom Jada. Damn it. Oh, we're getting old.
Yeah, I know. Dude. Custom culture.
Yeah,
custom builds.
Jada Custom Builds. Thanks, Brian. Well, this one's front lip is different than the other one.
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to see this get made. Another one that a lot of people forget about is the S15 that was in Fast and Furious 4. It was just a character, a random dude. Like, he kind of crashed early on.
This is the one I really like. I think this car looks a lot like the LA style, because it was just super clean.
It was actually this one.
Oh no, not that one.
Yeah.
That's not the one I was thinking about.
Yeah, this is the one. But this one here.
The straight gray, with the black hood.
Were there two? There might have been two S15s in Fast and Furious 4 that
Maybe, dude, because I don't remember the one with the yellow and black.
Yeah, see
tribal
this.
graphics.
So this was the first race where Dom and Brian, they're trying to meet that one guy, the criminal guy, and they have to enter into that first race.
Yeah.
And this guy, I think he's like the first one to crash in the race, and so he didn't have a ton of screen time, but our fans, they want to see it.
That's Fast and Furious fans. They see a car for 2 seconds, they're like, "Yo,
yeah,
got to get that in Diecaster."
Yeah, so
So doing these cars, the request is out there. We know, we hear it. We still have the license for Fast and Furious, and we'll have it for a while. So it means we need to continue to make cars for the franchise. And there's a ton of cars that we haven't done yet.
Yeah.
So this being one of the vehicles that I really dig. The chances are really high that you'll see this in the future.
Yeah, and so stay tuned, guys.
Yep.
All right, well, that closes out fans' demands.
So fans' demands. Don't limit yourselves to vehicles. If you want to see a certain figure, a certain character, or a certain TV show in Hollywood Rides, or anything, or you see like a cartoon, like, hey, you guys got to make a preschool toy for this cartoon because this is starting to get big. Whether it's here in the United States or in the UK or even Korea or anywhere, shoot us a DM. Let us know, and maybe we'll talk about it. Maybe we'll bring it up. Maybe we're already starting to do it that you don't know, and you'll get a first look at it.
It can literally be just about anything.
Yeah, we want to hear your feedback. We want to know what you guys are into. I mean, there's guys who are super loud about what they want on our replies.
Yeah, loud and clear.
and some of them we take to heart, and some of them we've actually did take their suggestion and make a product out of it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we do hear you guys. So come on, by all means, hit us up. Let us know.
Yeah, well, get loud, guys.
I didn't want to mention the name, but that voice you heard was Brian in the background.
All right, well, that closes out fans' demands.
Yeah,
let's move on to some, how about to some culture highlights, eh?
Yeah, let's do it.
Boop, 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 boop. Culture. So,
is that what we called it? Culture highlights?
Yeah. Yeah, but you
made... Is that what the logo looks like?
Yeah,
culture
but you made a banner and everything.
Highlights. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so something that has been taking the internet by storm lately is, the Fast 9 trailer came out.
Yes.
And we all know that somehow Han is alive.
Yeah.
Which, hey man, I'm all for it. I have no idea how they did it, but he's back. And I want to talk a little bit about some renders I've been seeing online for Hans's 2020 Supra.
Yeah, you know what?
Making.
Okay, so back in the other episodes, I know we were talking about it, and there's not everyone is a big fan of this Supra.
It's growing on me much, honestly.
I really dig it. I like it a lot, and what people are doing to them,
they're making them better.
It's definitely a step up from the FRS or the 86. But dude, I wouldn't mind having one. I definitely wouldn't mind having one.
If I didn't have to pay the bro tax,
yeah,
I would save up a little, trade in for Q and get one. Because I just love the fact how the car has been out for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and there's already 1,000 aftermarket companies who have made stuff for it.
I think they kind of took a page out of the Scion marketing scheme, where Scion gave a lot of the, I think this is what they did, but they gave a lot of the CAD data to all the aftermarket companies prior to the release of the car. So now that it's out, they can put out all this product, and everyone has access to it right away. And then you'll see all the car shows will have the cars with the aftermarket parts on it, and it just helps to bring the sport compact car culture. Just raises the bar on it and gets everyone excited about it again.
So what? So if a company chooses to release the CAD data early on, it helps out in the aftermarket. So why doesn't every company do that? You think? Okay,
You know,
why
a
are they
lot
so
of
damn stingy?
well, no, because you know, a lot of R&D goes into developing these cars. So a lot of cars are like, you know, or companies have this thing where the car is perfect as it is right off the lot. Why do I need to have aftermarket people try to upgrade it? You know?
Oh, so they're being stingy.
Not that they're being stingy. There's just kind of it's like a little bit of an arrogance, but it's true.
No.
Their cars have a lot of research and development into it, and they're made that way for a reason. Yeah, you know, there's probably some like cost cutting because of you know, they're trying to hit a certain price point, so maybe the starter isn't as great as it could have been, or you know, there's certain things that they maybe use different materials rather than carbon fiber. They'll cut it back and use an aluminum or something like that.
I see.
But I think it's the way the marketing wants to embrace the, you know, how they want to promote the product.
Right.
Do they want to promote it as our car is awesome, here it is, or our car is awesome and here's what it could be if you get this with all these other people's help? I mean, there's certain things. It's tickling a different part of the brain. Some people just want the original car. Some people want to tinker with it.
Yeah.
And if you and the people who want to tinker typically will have money to be able to spend on tinkering with it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a lot of money to be made.
Well, there's a few people in our area who already have a wide body Supra and
I have
everything.
yet to see one in the wild.
Dude, I've seen like 4 already.
Are you serious?
I've seen 4, and there's a guy in my neighborhood. I'm in the LA area. He has like, you know, a lime green wide body Supra.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's tuned to I don't know what, but like it's always popping and shooting flames.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That's wild.
But I'm like, you know, the car has been out for like a week, and you already have a wide body on it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like people are saving some money.
Yep.
To get this going.
Well, speaking of wide body, what are we looking at here?
So I was surfing IG because I wanted to find more of Hans's 2020 Supra, and you know, I don't know if this guy actually made it, but I'll give credit to the page I found it on. So the page on IG is MK5 Supra Toyota. MKV, excuse me. MKV Supra Toyota, and maybe he made these renders, but
we don't know if he actually rendered these or if he got the render for someone else. But he's the first person that we saw posting it.
And you know, it's a wide body Supra, but it's Hans's because it has Hans's iconic livery from the Wheelside RX-7.
It's similar, not exactly the same because it doesn't have the same kind of body lines, but it's similar. We got the black hood, we got the black accent on the side, but it's that orange color. I mean, man, that car looks good, dude.
I dig it.
It sits so nice.
I dig it. You have to, like for these cars, after they're a wide body, we'll throw it on some air suspension, get some fat tires, and you have something really special.
Yeah, I you know, there's something that I like about what Toyota and Lexus have been doing with their cars, but it's when they drop these cars, when you lower them, they look really good lowered. And that's the same thing with Honda. Honda always looks nice when they're dropped. And, you know, some cars just don't have that same look, or they just don't sit as low. They can look like they're dropped, but they may not sit low from the ground to the bottom of the bumper or whatever. But Toyota and Lexus and Honda, they've been doing that really well lately.
Yeah.
Well, Honda forever. Everything that they do, you drop it and it looks nice.
Definitely. Yeah, so this one, you know, I'm digging it. And, you know, if this is, you know, I think in the trailer, you only saw him do like a quick oversteer for like a quick, you know, 2 seconds.
Right.
But if it looks, you know, if it looks anything like this, I'm all for it. I doubt it. I don't think it was a wide body in the trailer, but I don't care.
Yeah. I mean,
this one kind of looks like the, there's so many wide body kits out for the Supra already. I don't even know who's who anymore.
Yeah.
I know that like TJ Hunt has one. I know that Heritage has one.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Artisan. There's a bunch of them. I mean, shoot. It doesn't matter either way. I mean, there's some really crazy super wide body ones that are just way too much, which I hate. I mean, they overdo it, but this one, the lines work well with the whole thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a wide body, but it is.
Yeah.
Yep. That's hot.
I want to go over some of the Justice for Han t-shirts. Let me see if
Justice for Han.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull these up real quick. Justice for Han. So it's a movement now.
Yes, it is. So you saw the video that
that Sun King
had
put out? Yeah. Where like he's opening up.
So
a box
what is this Justin for Han movement?
I think that people are trying. I think that people are trying to hold the studio accountable and say like, hey, Jason Statham, he cannot be part of the family because he killed Han.
Yeah.
And y'all are just supposed to, just about to forget about that.
So we're looking at Han walking around some office or a room and a bunch of boxes on the floor. He's opening up the boxes.
Not this BS, he says.
That's the comment on So he's opening up the boxes and we see what looks to be T-shirts. And it says, Justice for...
I want one.
Yeah. So he opens up the shirt, he takes it out of the package, unfolds it, and says,
"Oh, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that part?
No.
It says Justice for Ham.
Damn.
And on the back it says, in the big number 9, it says F and F mime, M-I-M-E. Justice for Ham, F and F mime.
I didn't see all that. I stopped at the just. Oh my god!
Now you know why his comment is not this BS.
Oh, that's hilarious. How many?
I
shirts
want
did he
that
have?
shirt.
I want that one too. Ham does sound pretty good right now.
Son, send us over some shirts, dude.
Yeah. No, but I have a feeling that when the movie actually surely drops, well, there will be like whole like squads of dudes showing up together for like.
Dude,
all,
you're
all
gonna see this at all the cars and coffees across the country. Everywhere you're gonna start seeing this Justice for Han stuff. Come on, you got to. It's like it doesn't make any sense not to see this.
So what do you think about this whole movement going on right now for him?
You know what? Now that they showed him on the trailer, it's not only Justice for Han. It sucks that he was a cool character. He was there for one movie. Well, I got a couple movies, but like he was there. And they killed him off pretty quickly. And then they bring him back. So the way they bring him back has to be justified, because it can't be corny.
Yeah.
So there's it's almost like a kind of a double thing now.
But it's like, he got T-boned to death, and then the car exploded, blew up.
Yeah.
But you know what? There was a few seconds between the car actually crashing, making impact, sliding, and then the flames. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe he crawled out by then, and like he was on the opposite side. Yeah. And then it blew up, and then like he goes flying. What kind of like how Letty did in Fast 4? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, and that's not, I could see some validity behind that, because
it's the Fast and Furious world, man. Like people are being you're catching people without any armor or any kind of like protection on the hood of your car, and they're not breaking any bones. They're hitting,
I know how Hans survived. You know how there is Black Superman? He's Asian Superman.
Hey, man.
He can survive explosions. But like he was being low key about it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something like how they brought that character in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah. How like he's Black Superman because of all of.
So they did that prior to him getting T-boned.
Yeah, but like he's just super low key about it.
And whatever he's snacking on is his fuel to make sure that it just keeps him
snacking on peanuts. All day.
He's like keeps him flame retardant.
Yeah, that's funny. That's just my theory. So
I don't know, but I think they got to do a good job. Hopefully they did it right, But at the same time, who cares? He's back. He's driving a Supra.
yeah, I'm
One
happy
of the
with
things
it.
I do miss about the old, I do miss about a lot of the old school true racing stuff, but how the movies were more kind of focused on the driving aspect of it. Like they always showed the heel and toe. They showed the exhaust going through the pipes and the fuel and the NOS going into the engine injectors and everything.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff was cool because it grounded it into the race culture. That's all that stuff is gone.
And you could almost learn something from it back in those times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how they made pink flames like you were mentioning earlier.
Yeah, like how in Too Fast, Too Furious, how Suki had the pink flames was shooting out. I'm like, I'm not.
You're looking puzzled, Brian. You don't remember that?
It was in the first race, and everyone is lined up, and Suki is making pink flames out of her exhaust, and I'm like,
2000,
yeah, like I'm not an expert in chemistry. I got a B back in college in chemistry somehow, and just the way fire is, it's either orange or it's blue.
Well, no, it depends on what you're burning. You can burn different kinds of chemicals and the reaction. Huh? Yeah, I've seen green. Like you can buy this magic flame when you go camping, and you throw it into your campfire, and it turns it blue, green, orange.
So does she have it taped up in like her exhaust pipes or something, and then
maybe, dude.
Yeah.
Is that some kind of additive?
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Hashtag with justice for Han.
Han.
All right. Well, I think that's all I have for culture highlights today.
All right.
You know what? If we can show this, so one of the perks of our job is that we actually get to see all of these cars.
Sometimes, not everything.
Sometimes. But we get to see a good amount of these cars before, like years before they like ever even will come out,
Mm-hmm.
And last year we actually had the opportunity to go to Vehicle Effects, which is where they make all the Fast and Furious cars, and so we got to see a hefty amount of the cars there. And well, let me just show y'all a picture of so this Charger, it's not completely done for the movie, but the Charger isn't what's important here. What's important, if you scroll to the right, is a picture of me standing right there, and just look at how jacked I look, man. I look like I look like I'm about to be a bad guy in the next Fast and Furious movie, dude.
You'll be the henchman. You'll be the dude that gets socked by the Rock. Who's
I can't argue with that.
But yeah, dude, you just look
how jacked I look, man. Why can't I look like that all the time?
You just look like a bodyguard saying you can't get into this club. Your name's not on the list.
Yeah, and and I'll slip me $50, and then I'll let you in.
But I'm with the DJ. Come on.
You ain't on the list.
Even though your look, you have your arms crossed, dude.
Yeah.
Trying to get that pec going, dude.
With Dennis McCarthy is standing right over there, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But so. Cool parts of our job. So for the next segment, let's go into Jada Throwback.
Oh, okay. So Jada Throwback. This is where we talk about some of the old products that we've done in the past that that kind of paved way for our future here or now. And we're doing a lot of things now that we're planning to expand on for the future. So hopefully what we're doing now if this podcast keep going, we can put what we're doing now in the Jada Throwback later on. So anyways, the item I want to talk about today is called Battle Machines.
Oh. So
Battle Machines is it started off as I called it Laser Combat Tag RC. So basically what it is a radio control car that has a laser on the front and a receiver on the back. So the kit comes with two vehicles, and you have to race around and try to get behind your opponent, shoot your laser, and hit them in the back of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically laser tag with radio control vehicles, and it's fun as heck. You have 3 lives. You get hit once, the car stalls and shakes back and forth, and then it starts up again after a couple of seconds. Same thing with when you get hit the second time. The third time, when you get hit, it goes out of control and it moves, and it's you can't control it, and it turns off. Excuse me. This RC spawned also a diecast line battle machines. And our diecast line, if you scroll down here, you'll see the diecast line. And this is kind of, I can't say it was my baby, but this is the first line I worked on pretty much exclusively on my own. I pretty much, this is one of the first projects I did working with a bunch of designers to design these vehicles. And same with the RCs. But the diecast stuff, I worked with Harold Belker, who was a designer for the Batmobiles. And he designed a lot of these vehicles and I worked with him closely to make sure that it looked cool. All these designs, all these graphics are ones I did, because at the time the art department was really small. And what was the reason why I think this one is pretty important is because we started doing a lot of scale things here. This line only came out in 124, 132, and 164 scale. The thing with the 32 scale, we had vehicles like the Bel Air, Challengers, 69 Camaro, but we also had 132 scale. We call it 132 scale because it was in our 132 scale box, but it was a big rig. We called the battle rig. But the big rig 32 scale in the 32 scale box was pretty much in scale to the 164. Mm-hmm. So they look cool together. So what happened then? It spawned an insurgence of sales because people who are into board games, for example, like Dungeons and Dragons, they made board games based on like a post-apocalyptic scene where these cars, because they're in scale to each other, you can move them along the board. They have like dice, and you roll dice, and if you shoot, you can hit your opponent, and it's a whole new category of people buying our product not because they're into cars, but because they're into gaming. And that was really interesting to see, because when I started researching who's looking at our website for these products, mm-hmm. it was a ton of gaming sites. So, this is one of those things that was a happy little not mistake, but a happy little thing that happened that we didn't expect. I was expecting like a lot of the collectors to go after this because I think they look really cool. And there's also cool little Easter eggs within them, like, with the taxi driver reference on the taxi car that we made. But I think it's a cool little line to collect if you can find them. They're still out there. Like you can find them in secondary markets, hobby stores sometimes. I wish I had the whole set. I think they're cool. They turned out really well. But it's just cool to know that we bridged a gap between gamers and diecast collectors because they saw this and appreciated it.
And that was your moment in Jada Toys history.
Battle Machines diecast.
Cool. Damn. Yeah. So we have to actually try to hold on to some of our stuff.
Yeah.
Just in case for 10 years later,
I think in our Hong Kong and China offices, they do have samples of almost all this stuff. But here in our LA office, we don't have a lot of room to store everything, so it's kind of tough. But yeah, it would be nice.
Jada Throwback, y'all.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into a quick teaser. So, for our teasers, we like to show y'all maybe just maybe a new trailer that is coming out for a movie, or maybe some new products that we're working on. And for this one, I thought that it would be cool because it's such an American phenomenon of the Ford Mustang GT-500.
Ford Mustang GT Shelby. Oh no, Ford Mustang
Shelby Cobra
GT-500.
God damn, that's a mouthful.
Whatever. We have to figure out exactly how to name it. But yeah,
But this is a casting that Mike and his team are working on. It's not completely done yet, but
Nope.
I would like to show y'all some photos of some 3D of the 3D
This is called the hand sample.
hand samples that his team are working on.
Yep.
Let's pull them up right now. So you guys saw this one on our IG last week that I posted. Just a quick teaser of the front end of the GT500.
It's a beast of a car.
Yeah, like 760 horsepower, some nonsense.
And when we posted this, I see the comments and people say, "Oh, the fitment's not right."
Yeah.
These are early samples. I mean, even then, we always try to bring them in because it's when people roll the tires, the wheels, and if they don't roll, that's a lot worse than having it roll and be inset into the wheel well a little bit more.
Yeah.
We can't, we do our best. Sometimes we can't control what's going on in the factory side, but we tell them we want it to be pushed out as far as possible.
Yeah.
We want it flush. We're trying to make it flush. A lot of the times the factory will do it. Sometimes it just doesn't happen. So there's certain things that we can't control, but we do our best, and you can always start pulling them out yourself because there is some room to be able to pull the wheels off of the axle a little bit and to get it more flush. So it's sorry it doesn't always come out perfectly from the factory, but
this isn't even done yet.
Yeah, this one's not even done yet.
Do you really think that we're about to hype up a GT500?
Yeah.
And put it on some 7.5 inch wheels?
Yeah.
That are sucking in like that?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah. No, we'll fix that a lot more. But I mean, unfortunately, like sometimes you just can't. There's a threshold when it comes to production where if they put it together, because they're putting together thousands of these, tens of thousands of these things, and if they don't get put together right, then we have a problem with the rolling, and that's a return on the retail side.
Yeah, which is what you don't want. Let's take a look at its back end. I love quad exhaust, man.
Yeah.
Just something about it.
It just looks beefy, right? It just looks sporty.
So much more aggressive.
Yeah, I agree.
The Cobra on the back end.
Yeah, what do you think about like these companies doing like more like aftermarket styling when it comes to the body skirts and body lines?
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
So do you like that it's coming out of the factory like that, or would you rather do it yourself? Kind of goes back to the Supra thing.
Yeah, there is a threshold because I like the quality of an OEM. The perfect fitment is ensured. However, you better be ready to pay a higher MSRP for it. Yeah. Which
I mean, if Toyota comes out with the Heritage Supra, that's the one I would get, and I wouldn't touch it. I think it was perfect the way it was.
I'm falling in love with that one more and more.
I think that's awesome. It looks dope.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm all for companies trying to make it look as look as aftermarket as possible. Let's take a quick look at the interior, real quick. Even got the little Cobra on the steering wheel.
Yep,
so cute.
Don't ever say that. Talk like that again, dude.
Sorry.
GT500.
Yeah. So that's your teaser for now. And you saw it here first.
At least the interior and the rear.
At least the interior, rear, and the front end.
The front end you saw it last week first.
Yeah, but whatever. Take it. All right. Well, that's all that I have for this episode.
All right. So send in your pictures, your customs. Tell us what you guys like, what you want to see.
Send us some memes that we can go over. I want to know. I want to know. What is everyone's stance on the whole, the Justice for Han thing?
Yeah. Let us know. Maybe we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah,
because it's funny. It's we
want
to
be
know
an ongoing thing. I think.
Yeah.
And other
Justice for Han.
Yeah. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like and subscribe. So check us out on YouTube, IG, Facebook. Let a friend know and
YouTube. Right?
And yeah, I said YouTube, right?
Oh yeah, I think you did.
Probably did. I suck at sign-outs, man. I got to practice that.
Don't worry.
It's kind of like a script.
I suck at listening, so you probably did say it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you, and we will see you next week. Peace.
I'm Mike.
Jordan. See you next time.